All right. Oh, we're live. Right
Oh,
here.
Hello, people.
I keep forgetting where my webcam's at. I want to look up. Hello, people of the internets. Take me to your leaders.
Technorama episode 409 for July 23rd, 2014. Monkey butlers. He said monkey butt.
Fucking
This is your
butlers.
captain speaking.
Technorama.
Remember when?
Technorama.
On this day in tech history.
Tech.
And now, the news. What the chuck?
Technorama.
Welcome to Blockhead Video.
Cheese, eggs. Got milk?
Over there, in the media corner.
Oh, I'm digitally lactose intolerant.
Technorama.
Hold my beer and watch this.
Unfasten your seatbelts to disregard all safety rules. Here are your flight crew, Chuck and Craig.
Welcome to Technorama for July 23rd, 2014. This is the show that takes a lighthearted look at tech, science, sci-fi, and all things geek whenever Craig and I are in town at the same time.
Yeah.
If this is your first time listening to Technorama, thank you for joining us. If you're a returning listener, welcome back. We appreciate giving us your time. I am Chuck Tomasi, and with me, right there or there, depending on where on the webcam you're looking, is my partner in crime, Craig Stepp. How are you, Craig?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. I'm a little sad today as of the recording.
You might want to check how we set this hangout up. Mad Marv is saying it starts tomorrow.
Well, all right. Look, I went and set it up so I could get the links, you know. And
Yeah.
what happened was I was doing it too fast, and I think I set it for tomorrow.
Oops.
It should be playing on the website, but
It should
that's
be
my own fault.
on our website.
Yeah, so on the chuckchat.com/webcam.
But they're not going to hear that if they can't join. You put that in the chat room while I do the coming up soon thing.
Yeah, I'm a little sad today as of this recording
Why are you sad?
because I saw the last live Monty Python show.
Oh, well, Graham Chapman wasn't in it, so
Yes, he was.
well, he's
Swear.
dead.
I know. Well, they said Monty Python live, sorta.
What were they doing? This
Oh, they had-
is an ex-Chapman.
No.
Bereft of life. He slipped
No,
his mortal coil. No.
I'll talk about it more, but during
Okay.
as they were setting up for different parts of the live show, you know, they would show clips from the shows and stuff up on the screen, and you know, and so he was in it. He was in it some, and they mentioned him a couple of times. You know, raise their thumb up to him.
All right, we'll talk more about that in a bit. Coming up in this episode, we have PC user groups fading away. Batman and simians. Very interesting. All that more coming up right after this. Bye. Nice clean wall you have there, Chuck. Yes, this is the sunroom wall. There's nothing on it. There used to be a TV right about here. But I am temporarily in the sunroom, maybe moving back into the old office.
Yeah, because you got it's almost about a month and a half before you start moving and stuff.
2 months and we're out of here. About 8 weeks. It's gonna go fast. It's gonna
Yeah.
go really fast.
Especially when you get towards the end of August, because you're gonna be busy with Dragon Con, and all of a sudden you got to come home and move.
And moving Lisa to college, and this is a busy summer. I got 3 down, at least 3 to go. So
Mhm.
let's go back to the show.
Yeah,
You can listen to all that on my Dog Days podcast.
that's right.
I started early. Ha 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 ha. Hey, thank you for returning. After that brief break, you never know. Some people may have fallen asleep or left us or gone somewhere. We have feedback from Yorga. He said I'm a couple episodes behind, but he was listening to the episode where we were talking about CERN, and he has sent us some pictures. Craig, were you kind enough to post those to our website?
I have not, because I haven't gotten there. But you know what? I'll do it. I will have it. I take that back. Wait a minute. We're podcasting time shifted. Yes, I have.
Listen to this 2 years from now.
Yeah.
When it was
So
recorded.
by the time you hear this, yes, they will be on the website.
If
and
it's
I'll have
no
a link to
longer
the show notes to the post.
2014, If it's no longer 2014, we should have it done by now.
Yeah. That's right. We got it in on New Year's Eve.
Definitely.
That's right.
All right, let us do that history thing. It begins by panning the audio.
Hey, while he's setting that up, well, I'll tell you in a minute.
On this day in history for July 23rd, 2014, this is the 204th day in the Gregorian calendar. There are 161 days. Oh my gosh, I gotta go Christmas shopping! That's in 2014. It was on this date in 1829, the United States, William Austin Burt patents the typographer. Sounds like something Mr. Burns would talk about.
Yes, right.
Have you got the typographer ready, Smithers? This is a precursor to the typewriter.
Much like the lithograph preceded the copier, right? And that same day in 1903, the Ford Motor Company sells its first car.
Congratulations, you bought yourself a Ford.
And it was black.
In 1926, Fox Film buys the patents to the movie tone sound system for recording sound onto film. Wow, that sounds like another Mr. Burns one.
Yeah. Guess what we developed? And today, in 1927, the first station of the Indian Broadcasting Company goes on the air in Bombay.
Telstar relays the first publicly transmitted live transatlantic television program featuring Walter Cronkite 52 years ago today.
And it was also on this date in 1967 in Detroit, Michigan, one of the world's worst riots in the United States history begins on 12th Street in the predominantly African-American inner city. It will leave 43 killed, 342 injured, and 1,400 buildings burned.
Do you know why I put that in? That
Why?
has significance in my family because that was the catalyst. We used to live there at that time.
Oh, okay.
So that was the catalyst that got us out of that area.
I was going to say, moved you out of there.
Life-changing event. So
Yeah.
that's in there for purely personal reasons. On this date in 1972, the United States launches Landsat-1, the first Earth resources satellite.
And 32 years ago, the International Whaling Commission decides to end commercial whaling by 1985/86. Why didn't they set a hard date?
Isn't that astounding that we were still doing commercial whaling just over 30 years ago?
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
That blows my mind. Comet Hale-Bopp is discovered today in 1995. It will become visible to the naked eye nearly a year later, but nobody ever saw the spaceship behind it that the Heaven's Gate people were supposedly leaving on.
That's right. And today, in 1997, Digital Equipment Corporation files antitrust charges against chipmaker Intel. How dare they?
Happy birthday goes out in the state to French physicist and mathematician, and I will try my best to pronounce yet another French name, Etienne Louis Malou. Born on this date in 1775.
Forged on this date. And also born on this date in 1886, Swiss-German physicist Walter A. Schottky.
Schottky. Don't you know your electronics, man?
Yeah. I know, but it goes by so fast when I'm reading it.
And finally, astronomer Vera Rubin turns 86. And that's how it was once upon a time in the make-believe history of Technorama on July 23rd, 2014.
Dude, you missed the Walter Cronkite saying right there. And that's the way it was.
I've done that a number of times before.
Okay. Okay, fine. Hey, by the way, this beautiful room that I'm sitting in right now was probably the last time I'll be podcasting from here.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. We got a room shift.
Beautiful studio.
Yeah, I'm getting a sort of office, more or less office. So
You're
looking forward to
Ellen
it.
DeGeneres going, I love that new studio smell.
That's right.
That's what it is, right?
Yeah. And we'll have fresh paint in there when I get done with it.
Bad news, fancy men.
Bad news.
I have to practice that for the parade, right?
I know. By the way, do you want to give anybody an update on our parade?
Our
hijinks?
parade, yes, we'll give you a quick update. The Santa outfit is pretty much completed, except for maybe a few final touches. Maybe
Robot
LEDs
Santa.
in the
Robot Santa.
The Robot Santa. We are closing out the Dragon Con parade. And this is a harebrained idea I had 5 years ago that has finally come to fruition.
Yeah.
So happy to see it happen. Craig is going as Fry, Clinton is going as Scruffy, and I'm going as my best Farnsworth that I can do. Now that is
So we
for
need
the
to hook up
parade.
with a Bender and Leela.
We're gonna you're gonna hook up with Bender and Leela?
Hey, you know, stranger things happen.
Are you
What hap-
robosexual?
What happens in Atlanta stays in Atlanta.
No, it doesn't. It's on Twitter 60 seconds later.
Yes, right.
Yeah, we will be looking for other people to help us close out that parade. And we do have other costumes for wandering around like Thursday night's cosplay. So don't think it's just Futurama and only Futurama. We are diversifying this year.
Yeah, diversifying. Don't put all your eggs in
Happy to
one
have
space. Don't put all your tribbles in one basket.
Tribbles.
Because they'll multiply.
Tribble
And,
at all.
yeah.
All right, we have some bad news, Fancy Man. One of the influential PC user groups is finally shut down.
And let me preface this by saying my old friend Mark sent this in. I guess this really hit him hard in the nerves.
I used to belong to
in
a
the
local
field.
PC user group. We had the Fox Valley Technical College PC user group. I wrote articles for them, and I found some of those while we were cleaning out the house, by the way. Like, yeah, I started voluntary writing even back then.
Wow.
How to change your cursor and use ASCII art at the same time.
That's funny. I never belonged to a PC user group. I did belong to sort of like a Commodore one for a while, and then we just had like wasn't really a formal group. It was more like just a bunch of guys that liked to copy software.
I got to run the telecom SIG also, the special interest group where we talked about bulletin boards and things. So
That's
let
cool.
me continue with this story about one of the world's largest PC user groups, the HLPC. In late June, the PC user group HLPC, which stands for Houston Area League of PC Users. Sounds like they should be dressed up in superhero outfits. Quick, off to the Houston Area League.
Yeah.
They announced they would be closing their doors for good. HLPC was a renowned PC user group that formed in the days before internet usage was common. Like back in 1982 is when they formed. I thought that was
Wow.
amazing. They reached their peak in the late 80s, early 90s with up to 6,500 members. And they had people like Bill Gates coming to talk to them. And Philippe Kahn, remember the guy who started Borland?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they had a number of other people, and they influenced a good number of people as well, including Matt Mullenweg, who creates what?
That's that blogging thing. Oh, WordPress.
Yes.
Wait, how did they influence him? What did he do? I mean, what did he do
went to a
for
number of the meetings and said, "This place sucks. I'm writing my own."
Yeah.
No, he threw out a bunch of ideas. Let me read what it says here.
Okay.
Without a doubt, this PC user group managed to influence people in the PC technology industry throughout its 32 years of existence. Perhaps most notably, the group influenced the WordPress developer Matt Mullenweg. Matt is a Houston native, and he attended HSPVA. At the time, he was a freshman at UH. Mullenweg would hang out with the older group members to gain useful insight into database development. He would then deliver presentations on this topic to the PHP group of HLPC. Ultimately, Matt developed WordPress based on these very insights. Needless to say, WordPress is today one of the most popular blogging platforms.
Well, see, when you're with the groups like this, it does help, grow your experience, right? Wouldn't you say? You've been with several groups.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's how Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak got started. They went to some of these user groups and started hanging around and going, "Wow, this is pretty popular stuff. Wonder if we can sell it." Well, that was Jobs' take.
So now they closed out the HAL PC users group. Now they got the HAL Mac group started up.
It was pretty sad because
the HAL Mac group just started.
they said that
Sorry.
Silverman, who spoke before thousands of people a few years ago, now he only had an audience of 20. And by this past June, Bill Jameson was met by one or two, that was quote, one or two members at the meeting. He stated that the only other attendees were board members, employees, and janitors, and organization volunteers. So they said, They're describing their building as a 6,665 square foot ghost town.
Wow.
So,
They owned a building?
building?
Wow,
Yeah,
they
that's
sure
what I'm
did.
thinking now. That's pretty cool.
That's more like an entity than a user group.
They did say that anyone who's on the autopay month-to-month plan will be canceling their autopay, but the bulletin board will be remaining online until the end. No, I'm just kidding.
Mad Marv asked, where's the HAL 9000 user group?
Part of the reason they couldn't keep going and they lost their popularity is because they didn't adapt. They were still very entrenched in the 80s and 90s technology. So
Yeah. So that's
there's still a big need for PC literacy, especially today, with a lot of more and more people getting online. And it's part of everybody's everyday job. There's a lot of illiterate people out there, or maybe not as skilled as they could or should be.
Well, there's plenty of like users group, Linux users group. There's a lot of special interest user groups, and I think that may that may be a little more beneficial than something so large like a PC, user group. Early on, yeah, there was a lot of literacy problems.
I would disagree, Craig. I would say if there's still a need for lots of people who use Windows 7, Windows 8, they don't know what they're doing, especially after each upgrade. Oh my gosh, they can be terribly frustrating. Where did all this stuff go? Why doesn't my desktop look the same? That would be a great venue to teach the masses to just get together and say, look, here are some of the cool things you can do in real life and do some exchanging of ideas. Now, where are these people going to pick this stuff up?
No, you're right. No, you're right. But I'm just saying, like, there's video user groups. There's HTML, web programming kind of stuff. So I'm just saying, in some way, I think in some ways, special interest groups are better. But you're right. There is a place for this kind of class. And it's funny because I remember we offered training for people that bought new PCs at the computer place I worked at. And who was in charge of the training? So I was explaining to people how hard drive space and memory and all that kind of work together, and they had no clue. And I'm sure that even today, they probably still don't have a clue. Kind of what you're talking about.
Forget to set your IRQs in your extended memory manager.
IRQs. Oh my gosh. Why is this no modem not working? Oh, change the IRQ on it.
Can be pretty tricky, suckers.
IRQ.
All right, from the bad news to this happy news, or the silly news. Star Trek The Next Generation, of course, ended its run on TV in 1994 after 7 acclaimed seasons. But what if it hadn't? Well, there is a parody Twitter account called TNG Season 8, or at TNG_S8. They have been imagining new, ever sillier storylines from the never-made 8th season since October 2011. Almost 3 years now. Now, it's being turned into an illustrated guidebook all unto its own with official licensing from the franchise. Holy cow, that's cool.
Isn't that cool?
Star Trek it's called Star Trek The Next Generation, Warped, an engaging guide to the never-aired 8th season. It's written by Mike McMahon, who runs the Twitter account, with illustrations from Joel Watson. He's the creator of webcomic Hijinks Ensue. And Jason Ho, who's the illustrator of comics for The Simpsons and Futurama. That ought to be interesting.
Yeah.
It is due out March 3rd, 2015, and said to contain everything from episode descriptions to new aliens to behind-the-scenes accounts of the show's troubled production, according to StarTrek.com. Until then, we've rounded up some of our favorite fictional storylines from TNG_S8, like this one. Picard must relax for a week while his new heart is delivered. Geordi and Worf contract a rare screaming disease. Stuck in a hollow dance-off movie, Data and Geordi must boogie their way to freedom. Data's astonishing pop locking clocks in at 500 pops per lock.
I've got to see this book, by the way.
Picard's production of Macbeth becomes far too real. Having torn apart the warp core, Geordi now thinks the weird noise is coming from Data. And my favorite here, Wesley's dino experience mistakenly mixes with Riker's beard DNA, creating the sexy but dangerous Velociriker. Troy's mom tries to marry it.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, I did watch some TNG this morning.
You did?
Yeah, I went. I watched the one where Data and Lore are summoned by Noonien Singh.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw the other one called Second Chances, which was the one where Riker was confronted with his transporter accident self.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I that was probably one episode I knew about, but I never really watched. So I went back and watched it, and it was pretty good. Yeah.
Every once in a while, I think it's BBC America has a series of them on during the day, so I'll just hit record for about 5 or 6 of them. And if there's nothing else on, and like now, the DVR season is a little slow because there's not much new coming on, I'll grab one of those. It's just a good fun throwback.
Hey, you got a Netflix account, right?
Yes, I do.
They're all on Netflix.
It's just easy to go. Record these, I'll watch them in a few minutes.
Well, what I was doing was I pulled up a couple of lists, the top 25, the top whatever episodes of Star Trek, and I would just go pick a couple of them, and I went, oh yeah, the Riker one. So I went and watched that again. It was pretty good. Actually, they did a good job talking to himself. It looked believable. And
speaking of birthdays, which nobody was.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, that reminds me. I was in Seattle this past week for some business, and somebody gave me another thing that I'm adding to my T-shirt collection. I think I've showed you some of the ones that I've got in Evernote, those ideas that I have.
Oh, yeah.
Here's another one. First of all, you're aware of the ID10T error and the pep pack and the picnic?
Yes.
Well, I heard a new one that made me laugh. It's called the Level 8 error.
The what? Level 8?
Level 8. You know your OSI model?
Mm-hmm.
The 7 layers? What
Yes.
do you think the 8th layer is?
User?
Yes.
Is it? Oh, okay, gotcha.
Level 8, that's awesome. I got to use that. It sounds
That is
very
pretty good.
technical. Anyway, right up there with that is my T-shirt collection of different things that I've got. And the one that I want to add is I love writing test plans, said nobody ever.
Yeah, that's right. Said nobody ever.
Anyway, birthdays.
Wait a minute. You mean T-shirts as in your work attire?
I want to make a T-shirt collection.
No, I mean as in your work attire, right?
Yes, mainly yes. I wear T-shirts most of the time when I'm not working in an office or at a customer site or something.
Yes. Yeah, no, everybody goes, how you like working from home? Well, these are the clothes I wear while I'm at work.
Did I have to put on pants today? I don't know. Listener birthday calendar, July 26th is Aaron Heath from Adelaide, Australia. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah.
July 27th is wife of Will the Computer Guy. Would that be Mrs. Computer Guy?
Yeah,
Mrs. the Computer Guy?
the computer chick.
And Sean Farrell, host of Adventures in Sci-Fi Publishing Podcast. I do believe we interviewed him at once, and I probably say that every year since then. He's July 29th, so that not to be like a children's show, but happy birthday to you. If it's your birthday, happy birthday to you. Hope you have a wonderful day. And if you're not on the birthday calendar and it is your birthday, happy birthday. We want to see you on the birthday calendar. Tell them where they can go, Craig.
They could go to...
Be nice about it. That came out all wrong.
Dang it. Let me tell you where to go. You can go to chuckcheck.com/wiki, and it will take you right over there.
Absolutely. We have, of course... Where is it? Oh, man, I got to rearrange these icons one of these days. This is not optimal.
Facts and strange stories.
From Mad Marv, we have a story about 3D ice cream. I thought all ice cream was in 3D until he showed me this. Oh, this is being 3D printed ice cream.
Oh.
And at first it sounds really cool.
Hey,
But the
ice cream wasn't good enough. Now it's 3D.
Sure, those 3D printers that can output confectionery creations in sugar, chocolate, and other edible substances are great. But a trio of MIT students have upped the awesome ante using a household Cuisinart ice cream maker and a Solidoodle printer. The crew hacked together a device that prints soft-serve for an additive manufacturing course. The modified 3D printer is housed inside a small freezer, and a line of liquid nitrogen blasts the dairy dessert as it's placed, keeping the object solid during the 15-minute process. That's nice and quick, isn't it?
Yeah.
Please wait in line.
Yeah.
That time limit was imposed by the group so that when Dairy Queen and the like want to offer custom creations, the wait time won't seem like an eternity. For now, though, there's a video if you follow the show notes through, and it looks like they're printing a star, but the bottom half is melting all over the place.
Yeah. Well, it was a good idea.
I don't know why there's a picture of President Obama eating a big old waffle cone of ice cream, but
It was probably the first picture they pulled out of the stock photo. Just, I don't know.
ice cream. Search for ice cream. All right, we are going to take a quick break. If I can pull up the red icon thing here. And we will be back with some stuff from Remember When. Oh, we got a good one. Superheroes and many more things from Craig's brain. Stick with us.
Yes. Why am I doing this? It's where I keep my brain.
What are we starting with? Chat room? So I need this.
Let's start the Windows ME user group.
Welcome back. We want to tell you and remind you, for those of you who are just joining us, or you're watching this or listening to it later, that we do this live every Sunday night at 9:30 Eastern Time on Google Plus Hangouts. You can either go to Google Plus Hangouts and befriend Technorama Podcast, or watch for the Twitter feeds, or follow Craig or me. We'll let you know when it's coming around. Or you could just go to our website, chuckchat.com/webcam, and watch it there. 9:30 Eastern every Sunday. Well, as many Sunday nights as we can fit in.
Yeah.
Get a little long and far between, but we're still here. We haven't pod faded. We're just what is not pod faded but not doing it regularly called? Pod holes?
Pod awful.
Pod sparse?
Yeah, I'll think of something in a minute.
I think we're just with pod holes for now.
Yeah.
And we'd love to see you there. We have a live chat room going. In the chat room, is this where I do the shout out?
Yeah.
Shout out to the chat room is what it says.
Why not?
We have Captain Thinstack, which I think was renamed. Gru, Craig 1138. Where'd the number suffix come from, dude?
The client.
Darn those clients. Can't live with them and can't live with them.
I know.
Matt Marv 1, the giant Thin Stack. Okay, so we have Captain Thin Stack and regular Thin Stack. We're a little thin on ideas, apparently. And
Yeah.
Tim Elliott. And, oh, you know who's Thin Stack? That'd be me. That the client gave me that, too.
Yeah, Chuck's not in here.
Hey,
Hey, by the way, I'm gonna
I used to sign in. It would give me my old handle. I don't know what happened.
Hey, go look in the show notes again.
I'm looking in the show notes under Remember When. Someone is typing, this dynamic
There.
Google technology is wonderful.
Go to that link and link the article. It takes you to the whole full article that I think I meant to link to about the
instead
history.
of the 19... Oh, I thought the one you had was pretty good.
Well,
Anyway,
you can go either one.
let's play the Remember When music. We have the history of the 1966 Batmobile. And did you know, I thought, until I read this article, I thought this car was severely mocked up. Like they took a regular car and put all kinds of fins and gadgets and things.
Yeah.
No, that is not the
Nope.
case.
Yep. No, not the case.
It is a, I believe, 1955 Ford Futura? Or
Lincoln.
Lincoln Futura, sorry. What a cool looking car.
I know. It looks great to begin with. I love the canopy. You know, obviously
If
the
you go
canopy.
to
You
Google
know that
Images
Batman
and
and
look at
Robin
one of
sat
these
in.
things, It looks almost exactly spot on. I mean, bubble top and everything.
Yeah.
So the only thing they really needed to do was this article that Craig linked to is talking to what's his name? A true child of the 50s, Futura had jet fighter-inspired styling with fins and plexiglass canopy, even though the plexiglass roof panels of the 1954 and 1955 Ford Skyliner and Mercury Sun Valley had baked their occupants. Stylists still believed the bubble-top cars were the future.
Yes.
The coach builders of Italy turned Lincoln's design into metal, unlike some show cars that have to be pushed on the stage. The Futura actually ran. In 1965, Barris received a request from 20th Century Fox to construct a car for the Batman pilot to be delivered yesterday, like most good projects.
Yes.
Luckily for Barris, he had a car with bat-like styling deteriorating nearby. Most of us do. With some sheet metal modification along with the addition of bat equipment, the Futura was reborn as the Batmobile. The center section of the plexiglass canopy was removed to ease filming of Batman and Robin, and also saving the actors from heat stroke.
It is a cool looking car.
It is. It looks very futuristic, which is probably what's called the Futura.
Yeah, I think that the main differences I see from the car is they closed up the fins on the back, and they changed the nose piece a little bit.
What do you mean they closed up the fins?
Well, if you look at the top picture and that second link I put in there, you'll see the fins look like they've got an opening, like air can go.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, they brought it forward a little bit. Yep.
Yeah, so if you look at the Batmobile, it comes straight down and matches.
They changed the nose a little bit.
Mm-hmm. But not much else, really.
They did cut the
pipes in the back.
Put in that centerpiece with that kind of police light thing.
Yeah.
The body lines are pretty much all there.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
And the super exhaust pipes out the back. That adds class.
Oh yeah, the turbine. Turbine's the speed.
Otherwise, if you look at the factory Lincoln Futura, it looks kind of like a whale shark.
It's a very flat, spread out kind of car. You're right, like a whale shark. Actually, I wouldn't be surprised if they did say that was a design influence.
Didn't we see one of these in the Dragon Con parade? Somebody had a Batmobile. I don't know if it was the Batmobile, but...
Now, there's always a Batmobile in there floating around. Yes. Cool car.
All right, you've seen a couple of movies and things. Do tell. We have a few minutes.
All right, so I saw Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, actually a couple weeks ago, which is really good. The
Does that
CG.
mean there's going to be a parody coming out called Shaun of the Planet of the Apes?
It should be. No. So, it picks up 10 years after the last movie with James Franco in it.
Happy birthday to Caesar. Happy birthday to...
Yeah, ah! But it was, it seems it's gone 10 years. The apes haven't seen humans, in 10 years, so they think they're gone, and it kind of goes from there. I don't want to give away any of the story because it is really good. But the CG was fantastic. You really believe that, they look like apes walking around. Andy Serkis did a great job, maneuvering like an ape. So yeah, I would highly recommend it. I enjoyed it. Again, I don't want to give away any of it except for the apes blow up the Earth with an atomic bomb.
Oh, and how did they get their hands on that? Korea?
They're just
Iran?
They're just beating on it, and it just never mind. No. So you got to go see the movie. It was good. And today, or as of this recording, I saw the last Monty Python live show.
Now, do explain how that went, because it wasn't in Rock Hill, obviously.
No, it wasn't. It was in, I guess, London. It was in the UK, and they were rebroadcasting the show to other theaters. So it was like one of those live events that you see ads for, like for the opera or something like that. It's kind of like that. So we're looking at a live show happening in the UK, and you could tell it was live because there's a couple of sketches they're doing, and they're cracking each other up. You can see John Cleese trying not to laugh and Terry Gilliam trying not to laugh. It was hilarious, but a lot of fun. was it Eric Idle had a mustache that was peeling off in the middle of a sketch, and he ended up just going. He kind of worked it in and took it off real quick. So yeah.
Didn't they use that one sketch where the guy was speaking French and then he took off his mustache and gave it to the guy next to him so he could speak French?
Yeah, that wasn't it, but yeah, there was and of course they did the Dead Parrots sketch, and it was nice at the end. They came out and said, "Okay, good night, everybody," and then they walked off. And on the sign above on the middle of the stage, it says, "Please wait 2 minutes for obligatory encore," and then spontaneous encore. And so it said, "Wait 1 minute for a spontaneous encore," and they came back out and they sang "The Bright Side of Life," and it was really cool. So they took their final bow, and then as soon as they walked off and the lights went out, the screen said, "Piss off." So a lot of fun. It was cool being in the theater, and everybody was kind of singing along with a lot of the songs, or you could hear people clap when they recognized the sketch was coming up, that kind of thing. So.
Fun.
Yeah, it was nice.
Well, I hope it's on Netflix or something soon. I'd love to see it.
Yeah, I have a feeling you're going to see a DVD floating around. And you know what? Oh, you know what? I got to mention this. You know what really sucks? The first 10 to 15 minutes we missed because they had a problem with the feed.
Oh, no.
So I'm like, okay, it's supposed to start at 2:30. I'm looking at my watch going, what the heck's going on? You know, everybody's starting to get antsy, and this lady comes in. It comes up on the screen. She's down there telling everybody that, "I'm sorry, there was a problem with the feed," and people are like, "Just turn the volume up, go away, tell us later." You know, so they were trying to hurry and catch the show. But yeah, they ended up giving us free tickets to something else.
All right, well, that's cool.
So now I want to get the DVD so I can see what I missed for the first 10, 15 minutes.
All right, we are going to jump into the media corner.
Yay.
Welcome to Blockhead Video. Hey, where can I find some good information about music and TV and videos and things? Over here, the media corner.
Now, Craig, I was noticing on Facebook that your status was often more Weird Al, yay. You were all about Weird Al. What was that?
Well, Weird Al had an album come out last week. So every day he had a new video he was releasing.
Okay.
Did you not see him?
No.
Oh, man. Well, you need to go to WeirdAl.com. As a matter of fact, of this recording, I think we got about 3 left, 3 or 4. So each day, here's the deal. You know, he says when things go viral on the internet, usually they last about a day or two, and then people move on. So he figured if he released 8 videos in a row, people would be talking about him for 8 days, for a whole week.
Okay.
And which is kind of the case, and it's kind of got me excited about Weird Al. Not excited about him again. I've always been love Weird Al, but I've kind of gone back and listened to some stuff. But it's fun looking forward to the videos each day. So yeah, he released one each day for 8 days, and his album's out. I subscribe to Google Music, and it's already on there, so I was listening to it. It's got some good stuff on it. So if you missed them, you should go to WeirdAl.com. You can see them all on the front page.
All right.
So
do that.
I know you're a Weird Al fan, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I was thinking of you because the last, I forget which one was. There was, I think today's video, as of this recording, Dr. Demento was in it briefly.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. So yeah, go check him out.
We should be seeing a video from that Kickstarter project that I joined a while back called Under the Smogberry Trees. They're doing a documentary on
Oh, that's right.
on Dr. Demento.
Have you been getting updates from the project?
I have. They did their interviews and things with Weird Al and a number of other people, so I would expect them to be doing serious productions soon.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm a little disappointed in the. I got in on a Heroes Con documentary. It's never come to fruition.
I'm a little disappointed in the release of the coin card, the the electronic credit card thing. It's like, come on, summer 2014 is slipping away, and I'm starting to see competitive products showing up too.
Yeah, well, like your phone. I mean, I can use my phone everywhere, but
yeah, I'm starting to see like at Walgreens or CVS or something that they're starting it says we accept Google Wallet now too.
Yes, I can use my phone. It's got the NFC thing in the back. But
That's pretty cool.
yeah, I want my coin card too, and I've seen it work. I've seen the video where the guy's demoing it. So
I suppose with that, you want to make sure it's rock solid before you let it go and get, have some
yeah,
kind of
because you're gonna get
security leak.
when you start screwing with the credit card companies, it better be right.
It's not going to make my wallet any thinner, I'll guarantee you that, because you still got to have a plastic. I jumped in a taxi last week, and the dude pulled out the old paper. Shunk, shunk. Like,
Oh,
really?
Here's my coin card.
Get yourself a square reader or something, dude.
Mm.
Out of the 80s.
Actually, you know what?
Anyway.
I haven't had a problem with any of those kind of those card copy things in a long time. I haven't seen those in a long time. So it must be...
Oh man, about every third taxi.
What? What are you using for a taxi?
Travel right now, are you?
Not as much as you, I guess.
Okay. Anyway, let's finish up with a couple of stories. We are getting a little long in the tooth. We have two more to do. We have Futurama Test Shot in 3D, which is a CG of their sort of cityscape. And I honestly thought as the Planet Express ship approached the camera, it would crash into the camera.
Yeah, I thought...
It's like, here comes, shh. It's like, whoa, it missed.
Yeah. But this is a really cool... I assume this is just somebody putting this together because they would use some software like he used After Effects and 3D. Just something like a side project. It's really cool. And actually, about halfway through it, I thought, I almost want a live-action Futurama movie.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, a CG would be kind of cool, and that's why I thought, since it said test shot, that maybe it was, but
Yeah.
no indication. There's just 30 seconds or so of some pretty cool 3D effects.
Mm-hmm. Would you be down for a live-action Futurama movie?
Yes, that would be good news, everyone.
Yeah. Good news. Yes.
And anyway, last story that we have here, thank you very much to our Crack News team for bringing this up. That would be you this week.
Me?
Is the 55 essential movies kids must experience before they turn 13. I love the intro to this thing. It says,
Well, I got a problem because Harrison's 12. Better hurry up.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Mainline!
Yeah.
There are a few in here that I chose not to see, and I still choose not to see, but I think I'm pretty well rounded anyway. So out of 55, I think I got about 48. The article starts out, there are people out there who have never seen The Princess Bride. They're walking among us, holding down jobs, contributing to society, and generally living happy, semi-fulfilled lives. But whisper a perfectly timed marriage in their direction during a wedding, and the resulting blank stare or awkward chuckle will expose an inconceivable pop culture blind spot. Someone failed them while they were growing up. In many ways, it's too late for them, but we can still save the generation. The 55 essential movie kids must experience before they turn 13 is a starting point. This isn't a list of 55 best kids movies, nor a compendium of hidden gems. Rather, it's a survival guide.
Okay.
Of films that we all need to know to be able to speak the same pop cultural language. Listed in order by when they might be best introduced. It starts with a film that is perfect introduction to the cinematic universe and ends with one that is an ideal capper before graduating into the world of PG-13 and R movies. And they have lots of them in here. I love this list. This is adorable. Starts with the Muppet movies. Goes to Toy Story. Again, many of you have probably seen most of these. The Grinch Who Stole Christmas. They've even gone back and done movies like The Kid with Charlie Chaplin from the 20s.
I know. I was flipping through the list and I went, what? Okay.
Of course, Raiders and Star Wars and Jurassic Park. A lot of these are in there. Of course, yes, Princess Bride is also in there. But yeah, the one that stunned me was The Kid from 1921. Sound of Music is in there. WALL-E is in there. Just they went all over the place. This is not specific to one genre. Wizard of Oz, Lion King, Singing in the Rain.
Now wait a minute.
Miracle on
What
34th
movies
Street.
would be on this list that you were avoiding? Which ones did you say you were avoiding?
Elf.
Oh. Yeah, it was all right.
I'm not a Will Ferrell fan. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right, well, that's cool.
I cannot take that guy.
Hey, it's okay, man. It's all right.
I I did not see it, and I don't know how I missed this, but I really do now that the sequel is out. I really want to see How to Potty Train Your Dragon.
Actually, you know what? I heard the first one I enjoyed, and tonight one of my friends was like, "Dude, the second one was great." You know, he's got like an 8-year-old, but I'd still watch it.
What else I got here? Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Paging Mr. Herman.
Yeah.
Mr. Herman, you have a phone call at the...
Mr. Herman. Yeah. By the way, that Pee Wee Herman Big Adventure, I love the end of it when they're seeing the movie they made from his life story.
Yeah,
got, like,
that's where that was from, and he got to be the bellboy.
All the everybody's action, and he's got a motorcycle instead of the little bike.
Morgan Fairchild.
Yeah, that's funny.
Willy Wonka is in here, the original one. Yellow Submarine, I thought was another surprise one that was in there.
Mhm.
But a lot of our favorites, Incredibles, the Lego Movie. I love the
Yes.
Lego Movie. You know, I was talking to somebody this past weekend, and it was mom and dad, and they had a little boy and a little girl. The girl's probably 12 now, and the little boy's about 8. And I asked the little boy, I said, "Have you seen the Lego Movie?" And he said, "Oh yeah." And mom says, "What's that song that they sing?" And he goes, "Everything is awesome."
Yeah.
And I said, "No, wait, that's my jam too." And mom really didn't get it. There were a couple ladies at the table. We went out to eat after the karate test, and there's something. I think that movie resonates better with the boys than it does the girls, because Dad loved it, I loved it, the son loved it, but Mom didn't get it, and Auntie Michelle didn't get it, and it was.
I've had some little girls say I've seen some girls that said they watched it and liked it. Well, you have the Unicat and all that. Yeah, there's a little bit in there for the girls.
Unicat.
Yeah,
The
Unicat.
Christmas Story is in here. Who cannot understand Fragile?
Hey, one of my favorite movies. Well, there's several in here, but one of my favorites all time, Young Frankenstein.
Absolutely.
Yes, beautiful movie.
I was surprised that my girls a few years ago were just laughing out loud in the back seat of the van watching the Marx Brothers. I think it was Duck Soup. That's on this list. They laughed so hard to the Marx Brothers. It was great.
That's
so proof
funny.
that stuff is timeless.
Yeah, Stand By Me. That's a pretty good one.
Back to the Future, Edward Scissorhands,
Big.
Lord of the Rings in here, Karate Kid is in here. Yeah, there's a ton of them. A lot of good movies in there that are many of our favorites, which means we're just grown-up kids at heart.
I never grew up. I missed that train.
Matt Marf from the chat room.
It's inconceivable!
Yeah. The Sicilian.
Alrighty. Oh, we do have one thing out of the Geek Library. We're right on time, but we're gonna wrap this up real quick. It's one picture. It's a dice shaming for disloyal D20s. It's got a picture of a dice on a note that says, "I left my owner on fire for 5 turns and proceeded to fail."
Wait a minute. Back up.
Petrification.
Have you seen the dog shaming where people have a picture and it has a dog sitting there with a sign that says, "I ate all the ice cream" or whatever? Or, that's what this is like. You're dice shaming.
I want to see more dice shaming.
I know. Hey, actually, if you got a story about your die, take a picture of it and send it to us. I'd love
How about
to.
phone shaming or anything else that you feel needs shaming?
Yeah. My phone let me run into a telephone pole as I was texting.
Nice.
Hey, I do want to mention one other thing though. I do have.
Fire away.
I got my Android Wear watch.
He's left the Pebble family, folks.
Yeah, there. Let's see if I can make it come up. Here you go. See if you can see my. Oh, that's you telling me that.
27. Oh, it's 2127.
Oh, here you go. See if you can see the watch face. The Matrix. Yeah.
Cute.
This is really cool. It's really doing more of what I had the Parable for, and that was not having to pull my phone out of my pocket all the time, because I can do some voice text to it, reply to text and stuff. I can interact with the phone a little bit without having to pull it out. If I didn't do something technical, I obviously have to pull the phone out. But yeah, this is doing a little bit more than I like the Pebble for. So it's been a good upgrade. although there are still some things I think the Pebble's better for, seeing it in the sunlight. I think things like that. I think the Pebble is more of a watch first than a technical thing, than being more of a technical thing. So I also have to charge this probably once a day. I mean, it lasts all day.
How?
Wait a minute, back up. It lasts all day. I mean,
Yeah.
Right now I'm at 66%, and I've had it on since 7 o'clock this morning. So
Okay.
yeah, it's not gonna run out. The problem is just got to keep it around the cradle when I go to sleep. That's the big deal.
Yeah, because I go for 5 or 6, 7 days sometimes on the Pebble.
Oh yeah, easy. But it was nice to go outside and I go, okay, Google, start a run, and next thing I know, Runkeeper's up on the phone and
nice.
the
Yeah.
thing, and I'm gone. So I can put my phone in the band and say, okay, start a run, and then it pops right up. I don't have to sit there and fiddle with it and shove it in the thing. And
Sure.
Oh, and I also want to mention one other thing before we go. Congratulations to you, Chuck, for getting your black belt.
Well, thank you very much. 3rd degree black belt.
Third. I'm sorry. You're third.
Yeah, check it out on Facebook. I did use the Pebble on the test.
What, for your run?
Well, for the run, but when the run was over, the instructor gave me the option to MC the test, because it was just me and this other girl, Nicole, who's like 21 years old, going for her 2nd degree black belt.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, sure, I'll MC it. There were maybe a dozen or so spectators there. It wasn't a big event because we wanted to keep it kind of small. And I made a playlist on my phone and hooked it into the stereo equipment because they have, an aux-in kind of thing. And I was running the music and turning up the volume and turning it down for my Pebble.
Oh, yeah, of course.
The instructor was saying, oh, that's pretty cool. I said, you could use one. He says, I can barely run this timer for a minute.
Yeah. That's funny.
It was kind of fun. It was inside my jacket most of the time. I think it fell out while we were doing our jiu-jitsu stuff, rolling around on the ground. But it was kind of neat. Had a good time. That was extremely physically demanding and exhausting. There were points where I honestly couldn't stand up. One of the instructors was holding me up, probably just to punch me and kick me some more. But
yeah, stand up, Chuck.
And you'll hear this if you listen to my freestyle. I couldn't have given any more, but I wanted to do better at certain things. So I'm a little disappointed that I just didn't have it in me to do better on some things. But in the end, I got the belt.
Hey, you worked hard for it, and you earned it. Very good. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So are you good? Are you giving up your running?
Yes.
Oh, come on. Not until after Dragon Con.
I might go a few more times because it's as long as it doesn't hurt.
Hey, stick it out till Dragon Con so we can at least go running.
I can't pack my running stuff, dude. I've got enough costumes and things to pack.
You can't put shoes in the.
Full.
I'll let you borrow my shoes.
2 or 3 pair of shoes. Remember, we got multiple costumes to deal with. Multiple costumes take up multiple space, and it ain't gonna fit. Anyway, we are glad that you listened to this show. We want to hear from you. 206-222-CHAT is the phone number to call. 206-222-2428 if you want to get in touch with us, or email us like Mad Marv did, technorama@chuckchat.com. Yorga sent us pictures. We want to hear from you. Thank you for listening. Until next time, tell a friend about Technorama. Get in touch with us. Get in touch with them. Put them in touch with us, and we'll get in touch with them. Give me a binary high five, Craig.
101. I don't know what I'm doing. Doing black belt stuff. Better watch out.
It's just one finger up, down, up. That's not that hard to figure out.
Yeah. All right. Good night, y'all.
Hey, good night.